Well, hello there, guys. It's me, Kid Bowman again. Welcome back after taking a short break since I have been reading the first part of Bram Stokers Dracula. It was published by Penguin Readers. That was quite easy to read. I hope you enjoyed so far, but some of you haven't seen the first chapter of Dracula yet. So, first of all, I'm going to continue reading the story of Dracula and halfway through from page 36. Okay, so are you ready to read more with me? Perfect. Mina's diary, 19th August, Whitby. Oh, look. After many weeks, there is news of Jonathan. Oh dear. I should go to him as far as I can. From Hospital of St. Joseph, Budapest, Hungary, 12th August. Dear Miss Murray, I am writing to you because Mr. Jonathan Harker is too weak to write. Someone found him 6 weeks ago at a train station in Budapest. He was very ill and a very high temperature. He talks about strange things, wild dog's blood, murder, and being a prisoner. We think that he says these things because he's ill. He's a little better now and talks about you and his home. He loves you, and he's very sorry if he has worried you. He should stay here for a few more weeks, but then he will be ready to come home. Please, can you send him some money if you can? Yours sincerely, Nurse Agatha. Letter from Mina to Lucy, 24th August, Budapest. Dear Lucy, what a long journey. I had to go and see Jonathan as soon as possible, but oh, he looks so thin and weak. He remembers nothing about the last few months. He's frightened and worried, and he has had a terrible shock. I asked the nurse, Agatha, about it. She heard a terrible things he said when he had a temperature, but she says it is too shocking and terrible to talk about. Jonathan has given me his diary. He doesn't want to open it or read it. I will keep the diary, but I won't read it now. The past's gone. Now we must think only about our life together. I want to marry Jonathan here as soon as possible. Oh, I do hope we can. I will write more later. Oh, Lucy, I am married. I am the happiest woman in the world. Your loving friend, Mina Harker. Letter from Lucy to Mina, 30th August, Whitby. Dear Mina, oh, this is a wonderful news. I am so happy for you and your new husband. I hope Jonathan feels much better soon. I have stopped walking while I am sleeping, but I have had lots of bad dreams. One was about bats, and another was about a strange noise in my room. One night, I thought that I saw someone in my room. Oh, I feel so tired and weak, and my neck hurts a bit, too. But I am not worried about that. I will be fine. Mother has also been ill and feels very tired. The doctor thinks there is something wrong with her heart. I hope she is okay. She is quite old now, of course. Arthur is wonderful, and I love him more every day. He often comes to see me, and we walk, read, or just laugh together. You're a very good friend, Lucy. P.S. We are going to get married on the 28th of September. Letter from Arthur Homeward to Dr. Seward, 31st August, Whitby. Dear Jack, Lucy is ill. I need your help. I don't know what is wrong, but she looks terrible. At first she did not want me to call you. Of course, she feels bad after she said no to you when you wanted to marry her, but she is getting worse, and I must leave her to visit my father for a few days. Can you go and examine her tomorrow? If you can, I will be very happy. Yours, Arthur. Letter from Dr Seward to Arthur, 3rd September, Whitby. Dear Arthur, please do not worry about asking for my help. Lucy chose to marry you and not me, and that is fine. You are now both dear friends to me. I visited Lucy 2 days ago at her home. She was weak and looked very white. I examined her, but could find nothing wrong with her. So I wrote to my good friend, an old teacher, Professor Abraham Van Helsing. He is a very clever man and an excellent doctor. Yesterday evening he came to see Lucy. He examined her and asked many questions. If anyone can understand this illness, it is him. He will think about it all. For now, there is one thing that we were all both sure of. Lucy has lost a lot of blood. We don't know now how or why, but this is why she is so weak. I will write again when I know more. Your good friend, Dr. Jack Seward. Dr. Seward's Diary, 9th August, Whitby. 2 days ago, Lucy became much worse. She was very weak and she could not talk. Professor Van Helsing was very worried. Seward, he said, she needs more blood. Now, we must get her a transfusion. Just then, Arthur arrived at the house. We told him a terrible news. Of course, he loves Lucy, and he happily agreed to give her his blood. Van Helsing did a transfusion. It was long and difficult, but it went very well. Lucy looked much better after it. Later, Van Helsing spoke quietly to me. I have seen something strange on Lucy's neck. They are 2 small red circles, he said. I am going back to my house. I must get some important books. Stay here and watch her all the time. Then he left. I stay with Lucy all night. I do not sleep. By the next morning, Lucy looked a little better and was awake again. Today, she is sitting up in bed and talking. 11th September. What a difficult few days. Lucy got worse again. Much worse. How is she losing blood? We don't understand it. Can it be through red circles on her neck? No, it cannot be that. I think they are too small. Yesterday she needed blood again. Because I am younger and stronger than Van Helsing, I gave her my blood in another transfusion. I felt very weak after it. Of course, I still love her and wanted to do it. I cannot let her die. The professor hasn't said anything, but I think he knows what is wrong with Lucy. It's still all very strange. Today, he brought lots of white flowers. I've brought you pretty flowers, he said to Lucy. He put them on the table and the bed and the floor. Then he closed and locked the windows. The small room smelled terrible, horrible. I laughed and said, "But these are just garlic plants, Abraham." He looked at me angrily. Do not laugh. Trust me, this is important." Note written by Lucy was there in the house. 17th September, Whitby. Tonight has been terrible. I must write about it. All week I have been very ill. Dr Seward has stayed with me many nights, but last night he had to go. I woke up in the night, and again there was a bat flying at the window. Then later I heard a dog outside. I was worried, so I called my mother in and sat with me. The dog was very loud, and we were both frightened and cold. Mother got into bed with me to keep warm. Then suddenly there was a very loud noise, and the glass in the window broke. A horrible big black dog put his head in the window. My mother became very, very afraid. She could not move or speak. I was so frightened then, I don't remember what happened. But then the dog was gone, and there was a strong wind going through the room. Then I saw that mother was dead. The shock killed her. I called for the nursemaids again and again, but they did not come. Oh, I cried for my mother and did not know what to do. I'll pull all the white flowers around me. Then I left her on a bed and went downstairs. The maids are laying on the floor. Are they ill, or has something bad happened to them? Oh, this is so terrible. I am so afraid. I think I'm going to die. Goodbye, my dear friend Arthur. Goodbye. Dr Seward's Diary, 20th September, Whitby. Oh, what a sad day. 2 days ago, Van Helsing and I came to see Lucy. She was very bad, and her mother was laying next to her in the bed. Her mother was dead. The bedroom window was open, and the maids were also very ill. What does this all mean? We stayed with Lucy for 2 days, but we could do nothing to help her. She did not move or speak, and she slowly became worse. Then Helsing gave her another transfusion, this time of his blood, but there was no difference in her. Where did all of the blood go? I did not want to say this. I don't want it to be true. But Lucy died this morning. A beautiful mother and daughter both dead in 1 week. We must bury them both tomorrow. There's a terrible thing about all this. I remember an old story I heard. It was about a vampire bat. It drank all the blood of a horse. Mina's Diary, 22nd September, London. My husband. I love that word. And I are now in England. This evening we had a shock. We were walking in Piccadilly, and Jonathan saw a tall, thin man with ugly, sharp white teeth. Oh, it is him, cried my husband. It is a count. No, not in England. Jonathan became very ill, and now he remembers nothing. I am very worried about him. So I read his diary from Transylvania. Oh, if the words are true, then there is a murderer here in London. 25th September. Oh, 2 days ago, I had a letter from a man called Professor Abraham Van Helsing. He's a doctor, and he was helping Lucy. He knew I was her best friend, and he gave me bad news. Lucy's dead, and her mother too. How can this happen? Poor Lucy, and poor Arthur. They buried her yesterday near Lucy's home in Hampstead Heath in London. It is also sad, and Jonathan isn't here. He is resting in Whitby this week. Today, Van Helsing came to visit me. He asked me all about Lucy and all about Jonathan's time in Transylvania. I think Van Helsing is a very clever man, and I trust him. I gave him my diary and my husband's too. He read both and thinks Jonathan's story is true. He looks very worried after he read the diaries. Thank you, he told me. Now, I understand everything. I must go. What can Van Helsing mean? Who is Count Dracula? Why is he here in London? And what was wrong with Lucy? The London News, 27th September. Attacks in Hampstead Heath Park. There have been many attacks on my young children this week in Hampstead Heath Park. The attacks always happen at night. Parents then found blood on children's necks, and some of the children became very ill. These children are very frightened and talk of a strange woman with red eyes and sharp teeth. Letter from Professor Van Helsing to Dr Seward, 27th September, London. Dear Jack, I did not tell you before of my ideas about Lucy. I did not want to shock you, but I read a story in London News about a woman. She is attacking children. I think it is Lucy. We buried her, but I feel sure that she is not dead. I think a vampire bat attacked her in Whitby and took blood from her neck. She is a vampire now, and she is drinking the children's blood. I have a plan to stop her. Come as soon as possible. Yours, Abraham Van Helsing. Dr Seward's diary, 29th September, London. When I read Van Helsing's letter, I was angry, Lucy. A vampire? Could it be true? So I went to see him. I saw the children at the hospital. He said they have the same small, round circles on their necks. Then he told me all about Harker and the diaries. We must go to where we buried Lucy. He's dead, and I have told Arthur Homeward to come too. I was not happy, but I agreed. Last night, we all went to Lucy's tomb, but the tomb was empty. Lucy was gone. We went behind some big trees and waited. After waiting for hours in the dark, we saw something. It was Lucy. She looked angry and wild, and she was carrying something. Then we heard a child crying. I shouted, and then Lucy ran away and did not come back. We could not find her or the child, so we went home. Today, in the late afternoon, the three of us went to the tomb again. This time, We had a real shock. When Van Helsing opened the wooden box, she was there. Lucy lay there, as beautiful as ever, but she had blood on her face. She didn't look dead. She looked like she was sleeping. We must kill it, said Van Helsing, looking down at Lucy. Abraham, no, we cannot do that, cried Arthur. My dear Arthur, Van Helsing said, quietly. Lucy is already dead. We must kill the vampire. Arthur looked very sad and said nothing. I think we all understood then. I have read many books about vampires, said Van Helsing. He opened his bag and took out a piece of garlic, a big sharp knife, and a wooden stake. I must put the garlic in her mouth and then cut off her head, he said, and then someone must put this stake through her heart. Oh, cried Arthur in shock. Then he said, quietly, I will do it. Van Helsing's diary, 29th September, London. We have killed her. The vampire is dead, but Dracula is here in England. Who is he? And when is he now? Is he dangerous as I think he is? Arthur, Dr Seward and I have talked, and we think we need more information and more help. More people may die if we don't act quickly. Jonathan Harker is in Whitby. I have sent him a note. I want to find out more about a Russian ship and the boxes of earth. I think Dracula travelled to England inside one of them. But where are the boxes now? I have asked everyone to meet at Jonathan's house tomorrow. Together, we will look at all the information we have. We will read all the diaries and letters we have, and any new stories we have found. We will hear Jonathan's information too. Mina's diary, 30th September, London. The group met at her house today. Oh, how sad to see all of us together because Lucy has died. This evening we have read all the diaries and letters and have talked. Professor Van Helsing has read many books about vampires in the last few weeks. He knows a lot more about them now. Dracula is very dangerous, he said. He sleeps in these wooden boxes and changes into a dog or a bat at night. We must all wear crucifix to stop him from coming near us. Then Jonathan told us about the boxes. He remembered seeing a letter at a Castle Dracula. It had Billington solicitors an address in Whitby on it. He talked to Mr. Billington, and now he knows where the 50 boxes are. Mr. Billington sent them by train to the house in London called Carfax. Jonathan knows it because Dracula bought this house. We have made a plan. All the men will go to Carfax and look for the boxes. They will wear crucifixes and take garlic, wooden stakes and knives. If they put garlic and crucifix all in the boxes, it will stop Dracula, but I hope Dracula is inside one of the boxes because then the men will kill him. I wanted to go with them. This vampire did horrible things to my Jonathan, but Van Helsing said no, so I cannot go. It is not a good place for a woman, so I must stay here and wait for them to come back. Jonathan's Diary, 2nd October, London. Last night, a four of us went to the Carfax. We broke a small window and climbed into the house. When we got to the ruined chapel, there was a horrible, strong smell like in Dracula's castle. We found the wooden boxes there, but there were only 29 of them, not 50. Dracula was not inside any of them. We put a crucifix on top of the earth, each box. Suddenly, I saw the bats flying away. I arrived at home 5 a.m. and Mina was sleeping. When she woke up, she looked terrible. I didn't sleep well. I had dreams about dogs and bats. I thought I saw red eyes, she said. She has not been well all day today. In the afternoon, I went to see Mr. Smollett of the Patterson's Transport Company, and I asked him about the boxes. He took 6 of them of 21 boxes to the empty house in Mill End, 6 to Jamaica Lane, and 9 to Piccadilly. They are all over London. A tall thin man with a beard was at the last house and helped him with the boxes. Could be that Dracula? This evening, Mina was still not well and went to bed early. Then Van Helsing, Dr Seward and Arthur came to the house, and I told them a news about boxes. We plan to look for these houses tomorrow evening. Later, they asked about Mina. Van Helsing looked very worried. She dreams about bats, and she is weak, he said. When Van Helsing, Dr Seward and I went upstairs to see Mina, we had a terrible shock. She was standing by the bed, and next to her was a tall, thin man. It was Dracula. His head was near Mina's neck. Oh, my dear Mina. Van Helsing quickly held up his crucifix from his neck and moved towards the Count. Dracula shouted angrily, and then he suddenly became smaller and smaller. A minute later, we saw a black bat fly out of a window. Van Helsing's Diary, 3rd October, London. I am very worried about Mina. I believe she is slowly become a vampire. Today, we have been to a house in Piccadilly to find the other wooden boxes and put crucifixes in them. We found 9 empty boxes there, but while we were in the house, we heard a front door open, and then Dracula came in. He shouted and ran towards us. Again, we used our crucifix to stop him. Jonathan, of course, was very angry and attacked the Count with a knife. The Count jumped back quickly and then threw himself through the glass of the window. When he looked outside, he saw something running away. It was late at night. We found our correct houses in Mill End and Jamaica Lane. We found another 11 boxes. That means 1 box has gone. Dracula knows that we are looking for him now, and I am sure that he is in that box. Where is he? How can we find him? Van Helsing's Diary, 4th October, London. This morning I had an idea. Mina is becoming a vampire. She is becoming part of Dracula. I think Mina and Dracula are the same. They think the same things and see through the same eyes. If it's true, then she may know more than us. So I decided to hypnotize her. I slowly moved my hand in the front of her eyes for a few minutes. Then I spoke quietly to her. "Can you feel Dracula, Mrs. Harker?" I said, and waited. "Where is he now? Tell us. What can you see and hear?" After a few minutes, Mina's eyes slowly closed, and she spoke in a strange, slow voice. "I don't know where I am. It's very dark and can't see. I am moving up and down a little. I hear water and people walking on wood above me." I thought for a few seconds, then asked her, "Are you on a ship?" "Yes," she replied, and her eyes suddenly opened. Jonathan said, "Dracula is on a ship. He knows that we want to kill him. Maybe he is leaving England and going back to Transylvania, but I am sure that he will take other people there too. But which ship? How can we know?" asked Arthur. "Jonathan," I said, "stay here with your knife. She needs you. Mrs. Harker, please do not worry. We are going to catch and kill this horrible vampire." Then I spoke to Arthur and Jack. Come with me. We will go to the London docks today. We must be quick." Dr Seward's diary, 5th October, London. Yesterday afternoon, Van Helsing, Arthur and I went to the London docks. We asked lots of questions. I spoke to many people there. Now we now have our answer. A box of earth was carried on to the Russian ship Sana Catherine early yesterday morning. The ship then left London later in the day. It is travelling to Varna in Bulgaria. That journey will take us about 3 weeks by sea, said Van Helsing, but by land it only takes 3 days. This morning we went to see Jonathan and Mina and told them the news. We talked and talked, then we decided to travel by land to Bulgaria. Mina must come. It is dangerous, but we need her because she understands Dracula and can give us information. I think we all feel happier this evening. We are going to stop this horrible vampire, and we have time to make a good plan and get everything ready. 6th of October. Today we made our plan. We will leave tomorrow morning and travel by boat, then train to Varna. When we get there, we will wait for the ship. The ship will arrive in the daytime, and Dracula will be inside the box. We will take knives, garlic, crucifixes, and wooden stakes. We must put a stake in his heart like we did to Lucy at her end. Oh, I hope this plan goes well. Mina's diary, 7th October, London. We leave for Varna this morning and will travel by boat, then by train across Europe. These last few days I have felt so weak and ill, and every night I have terrible, horrible dreams. I am so frightened, but I know I must go with the others to Bulgaria. It is the only way to stop Dracula, and I hope to make me better. I said to the men, if I become much worse and dangerous, you must kill me. This is really terrible. Jonathan's diary, 26th October, Varna, Bulgaria. We arrived in Varna about 2 weeks ago. After 3 days of travelling, since then, we have waited for the Sowner Catherine to arrive. Oh, when will the ship come? 28th October. Mina has slept a lot, but she is still quite weak. This morning, a note came from London. The ship is going to arrive today, but in a different place. Galatz, a day's travel from here. The Count is clever and has played a game with us. I think he can see through Mina's eyes, and he knows they were here. Tomorrow, we shall go by train and followed him. Then Helsing hypnotized Mina again. This time, she said, it's dark, I am not moving, I hear water. But it's very quiet, I can hear some voices. Then she was quiet. No, nothing is quiet. Miss Dr Seward's diary. 30th October. Galatz. Then Helsing and I went to the docks in Galatz and spoke to the captain of the Dracula Catherine. When the ship arrived in the early morning, some men came and took the box, he told us, but the captain knew nothing more than this. Then Helsing hypnotized me in again. She talked about moving slowly and quietly. She could hear the sound of cows and some water. It's Dracula travelling up the river. So now we have a plan. We will all follow Dracula towards this castle. Mina's diary, 30th October, Galatz. After everything I read in Jonathan's diary about Castle Dracula, I am very afraid. The professor and I will travel by train for 2 days and then by carriage and horses for another 2 or 3 days. The others leave tonight. They have guns. Oh, this is already dangerous. Jonathan's diary, 4th November, Bulgaria. Jack, Arthur and I are in a small boat. Arthur paid a man a lot of money to use it. For 3 days, we have moved up the river, but we have found nothing. I am very cold and tired. We have 1 more day of travelling. Then a carriage will take us to the castle. Then Helsing's diary, 6th of November, Transylvania. Mina and I were here, and we are waiting for the others. When Mina slept in the afternoon, I went to the castle. The front door was open. I remembered the 3 vampire women in Jonathan's diary, so I went inside to look for them. Soon I found 3 women, 3 vampires lying in the boxes. I did it. I cut off their heads and put stakes in their hearts. It was terrible, but Dracula was not there. It was snowing. When I came out of the castle, suddenly I saw an open carriage with a big box in it, travelling very quietly. Behind it, there were 3 men on horses. It was Dr Seward, Jonathan and Arthur. They made a carriage stop in front of our castle, and we all pointed our guns at the driver. Then Jonathan ran to the carriage and pushed a big box onto the ground. Quick, he said, for something's going down. Then Arthur opened the box. I saw the Count inside it. He did not move, but his eyes were beginning to open. Jonathan quickly cut off Dracula's head with a knife. Then Arthur pushed the wooden stake into his heart. Oh, it is finished. Then the sun moved behind the mountain as we laughed and cried together. We have did it. We have done it. I said to everyone, farewell is free of Dracula. Note from Jonathan. It is now 7 years after these terrible things happened. Arthur Homewood and Jack Seward are both happily married, and they sometimes come to see us with Professor Helsing. These three men are very good friends to us. Mina and I are very lucky, and we have a wonderful son called Abraham. We gave him the same name as Professor Abraham Van Helsing. Thanks to the professor, today are we all happy, and Dracula is dead and gone. The end. So, I hope you enjoyed the story of Dracula. We have now concluded this story of Bram Stokers Dracula. I hope you don't feel scared without the story of Dracula. I hope you like it so far. So, just let me know to write in the comments down below if you have enjoyed the story of Dracula in a spooky season of Halloween in October. So, we are always prepared to get ready for Halloween season, as we're all scarily excited for the spooktacular Halloween so soon. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for your attention to listen to the story of Bram Stokers Dracula. Okay guys, so remember, don't forget to subscribe to my channel to hit my notification and don't miss the future contents. And there's social media links just below the video description below the screen. As I important, you can find me on Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram and TikTok. You can support my early access of potential contents and exclusive behind the scenes and upcoming contents. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to plan to do more Halloween themed contents as you've been asked for. I really appreciate you guys to support me. Okay, so I'll see you soon, and thank you very much.